Thank you, Mr President. I rise in support of the motion put forward by the honourable member and the amendments from the Liberal Party. In this chamber, it is our first and foremost duty to do the right thing, a simple yet profound obligation. Part of that duty is to listen, truly listen to the people we're sworn to serve, the people of South Australia. Under the Malinauskas government, it seems we're facing an unfortunate case of a blatant disregard of this very principle, despite a staggering 64% of South Australians giving a resounding no to the federal voice to Parliament, and despite that loud and clear chorus from the community shouting the idea down of a federal voice to Parliament, this government have ploughed ahead regardless of the state voice. Instead of acknowledging this decisive outcome, the government have chosen to sideline the broader public interest of South Australia. And let us not mince words about the claims that an SA voice is different from the federal voice. Its distinction is without difference. Technically different perhaps, but in spirit and in substance it is the same undemocratic push. South Australians, canny as they are, cannot be fooled. They see past the smokescreen of political correctness and identity politics. And they now understand that such a voice would only serve to divide and cost dearly, and ultimately to fail in delivering real outcomes, because they know that adding more and more levels of bureaucracy is ultimately more of the same. And then there is the argument about pre-election commitments, as if announcing a policy almost 3 years before an election gives you carte blanche. Mr President, memories are short, and the supposed mandate this government claims is nothing but a mirage. The referendum spoke volumes, rendering any assumed mandate obsolete. The Premier himself has turned his face away from the promotion of the state voice elections. His absence has been duly noted by many. We must at times have the courage to make unpopular decisions when they are in the best interests of the state. However, Mr President, this is not one of those times. Our democratic process has already provided representative voices in this parliament without bias or special provisions for any minority or race. The Constitution clearly states that parliamentary representation is determined by the people of the electoral districts, not a government fiat that flies in the face of democracy and the rule of law. If the Malinauskas government truly wished to serve Indigenous community, they would engage them directly, understanding on-the-ground realities and acting decisively on those challenges, not retreating to another layer of needless bureaucracy. The appearance of action is no substitute for actual results. We all recognise the genuine need of support for Indigenous Australians. However, pandering and paternalism will not deliver the results that are so desperately needed. Where is the accountability in this legislation? When will the government declare that the objectives have been met? Or is this voice to be an eternal reminder of division and disadvantage? The federal referendum's results have already sown division, distrust and disquiet among the people. The state voice, now understood and known by more South Australians, has done the same. My office has been inundated with concerns from constituents feeling unheard, even some censored on the Premier's social media for expressing their honest and deeply held dissent. The government's refusal to listen is not just arrogant, but it is profoundly undemocratic. So, Mr President, it is with a sense of urgency and resolve I commend this motion to the chamber. It is high time we return to the core of what our roles are in this place, that is representing the will of the people, standing up for the values that make South Australia great, and ensuring our actions in this House reflect the true voice of South Australians that we are here to serve.